So we finna clock this T right here. Renee says you want to stay keeping up. We finna talk about some real tea. Your brother over there paying people to put hits out. He over there paying people to put hits out. And running off with his money and it's getting back to me. So now I'm finna send the feds over there to y'all mother empire. See, you had the right today, ho. You keep playing with me, I'm finna tear y'all mother empire down. Next, we gonna talk about Miss Carol. You big mouth. Will, I want you to talk. Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky. I know you is. 10 churn have. It's time to show them churns now. I ain't gonna let off you. You should have been shut this big mouth hole up. You know it. You know it. Sip your fruit back. You know what I like. Coconut water hole. Whole one.
Okay, so picture this. You're scrolling late at night, half asleep, and then bam, your whole feed is blowing up over one photo. And not just any photo. This one? It's got Rick Ross smack in the middle of a full-blown internet frenzy. Why? Because Tia Kemp, yeah, that Tia, just dropped something that nobody saw coming. Out of nowhere, she uploads a picture that has people doing double takes, rubbing their eyes, and asking, wait, is that really him? The image is wild enough to get people talking, but it's what she says next that really sends the internet into chaos. According to Tia, that photo, just the tip of the iceberg. She says she's been sitting on way more than just one snapshot, like actual content that's so unexpected, it could flip Rick Ross's whole public image upside down. Now, if you know Tia, you know she's never been one to bluff. So the second she hinted there were clips, not rumors, but actual footage lined up, the internet didn't just watch. They went full detective mode. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, everyone was trying to figure out what exactly was going on. And more importantly, how deep this was about to go. And honestly, that one post set off a chain reaction that nobody could stop.
Nobody want to see it. Nobody don't care to see the Jets no more. You running out of hoes now. Go over there and get Diddy a hug. Go ride the bike with him, you fat. You know what time it is. Prom time. You ain't sent a motherfucking message since December 9th, you big bag.
Here's where things take a turn. Because as wild as that post was, it wasn't just a one-time thing. Tia didn't just wake up one morning and decide to stir the pot. Nah, this had been brewing for a while. For months, maybe even longer, she's been dropping hints, throwing little jabs, and making cryptic comments like she knew something the rest of us didn't. And people thought she was just venting, you know, standard ex-drama. But now, it's starting to look like she was playing the long game. Tia had been warning everyone that she was holding onto receipts. Real ones. Not gossip, not hearsay, but dates, messages, and apparently even files. So when she finally hit that upload button, it wasn't just some random post. It was calculated. And if you've been following her closely, you could tell she's not just doing this for clout. She's on a mission, and it's personal. Like, this is deeper than internet drama or messy breakups. She's not throwing shade. She's dropping full-blown eclipse-level darkness. And the way she talks about it, with that tone that says, I've been quiet long enough, it gives the whole thing this chilling kind of tension. It's like watching someone light a match with one hand while holding gasoline in the other. You know something big's about to happen, you just don't know when. And honestly, this feels like just the beginning.
So we finna clock this T right here. Renee says you want to stay keeping up. We finna talk about some real tea. Your brother over there paying people to put hits out. He over there paying people to put hits out. And running off with his money and it's getting back to me. So now I'm finna send the feds over there to y'all mother empire. See, you had the right today, ho. You keep playing with me, I'm finna tear y'all mother empire down. Next, we gonna talk about Miss Carol murder.
So just when everyone thought things couldn't get any messier, Tia takes a sharp left and pulls the curtains back on something way deeper than just relationship drama. According to her, this isn't just about shady photos or exes being petty. This is about a behind-the-scenes game that Rick Ross allegedly played a major role in. Tia says Ross wasn't just living his own secret life. He was helping someone else keep theirs under wraps too. And that someone? Yep, she points the finger at Daddy. hinting that Ross was part of a kind of inner circle where a lot of secrets were kept quiet. Real quiet. We're talking about making sure certain things stayed buried, people stayed silent, and no one asked too many questions. The way Tia tells it, Rick had more than just a front row seat. He was helping run the whole operation. Now, she's not just dropping these claims casually either. She says she's got details, actual timelines, and even digital proof that points to Rick playing fixer behind the scenes. And that's what really got people's attention. Because when someone starts showing dates, receipts, and names, it moves out of gossip territory and into something way more serious. Suddenly, this isn't just about Tia being mad. It's about whether Rick's carefully polished public image is actually covering up a whole other version of events. And that's when people really started listening.
You keep playing with me, I'm finna tear y'all motherfucking empire down. Next, we gonna talk about Miss Carol. Y'all know who Miss Carol is. You know that's behind your brother. I'm finna make sure her family sue y'all whole estate, cause that case is not closed. You know the lady that was leaving from my mama's house getting her hair done that time, and it's behind your brother and his drama. You know that.
Now, here's where the story really flips. Because before all this blew up online, Rick Ross and Tia Kemp weren't always at each other's throats. In fact, rewind the clock and they were actually pretty tight. Not just co-parents, they had real chemistry. The kind of fire that made people say, okay, they might be messy, but they work. They were loud, bold, flashy. Both of them had that larger-than-life energy. And for a while, it looked like they fed off each other in a way that somehow made sense. But that vibe didn't last. Somewhere along the line, the laughs turned into low blows, and what started as playful jabs spiraled into a full-on Cold War. And when things fell apart, they didn't just go their separate ways quietly. Nah, this breakup came with public shade, subtweets, and nonstop tension. Still, even through all that, nobody saw this level of exposure coming. But now, Tia's not just airing old grievances, she's flipping the entire script on who Rick Ross is behind the scenes. And what makes it all hit harder is how quiet Ross has been. Usually he'd hop on social media, drop a slick response, maybe throw a little shade of his own and keep it moving. But this time, crickets. And that silence has people wondering, did she really touch a nerve? Or did she hit on something that wasn't supposed to come out at all? Either way, the fact that she's not backing down and he's not speaking up has people glued to every update, waiting for the next bomb to drop.
About the man who was in front of Black House? Okay. We finna dig up a whole bunch of motherfucking maggots right now, ho. I'm not finna play with you, you Ozempic. I'm finna finish y'all motherfuckers. Watch this.
And this is where Tia hit the internet with a twist nobody saw coming. Out of everything she could have said, she dropped one of the boldest claims yet. One that didn't just aim at Rick Ross's reputation, but rewrote the entire narrative fans thought they knew. She came out and said, point blank, that Ross hasn't exactly been living life the way people assumed. According to Tia, the whole flashy ladies' man image, smoke and mirrors. She says he's actually been into something very different behind the scenes, and not just casually. She claims this has been going on for years, that it's part of who he really is, and that the public just never picked up on it. And here's the kicker. She says it's not just talk. She says she's got the proof to back it all up. The kind of evidence that could leave zero room for denial. Now, this kind of claim isn't just spicy, it's risky, and a lot of people were quick to either dismiss it or call foul. But here's what made people stop and think. Rick didn't say a word. Not a denial, not a joke, not even one of those slick clapbacks he's known for. And that silence, it spoke volumes. People started asking, if it really wasn't true, why stay quiet? Why not shut it down immediately? Especially when your whole brand is built around confidence and control. Instead, the internet watched in real time as Tia doubled down, adding more layers to her story. She said the reason Ross kept such a specific kind of company in public was to throw people off the scent, that it was all part of the illusion. And whether you believed her or not, it was impossible to ignore the way she told it. Like someone who wasn't just trying to embarrass him, but trying to finally reveal what she sees as the real story. And at this point, people were either clutching their pearls or grabbing popcorn.
You big mouth. Will, I want you to talk. Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky. I know you is. 10 churn half. It's Time to show them churns now. I ain't gonna let off you. You should have been shut this big mouth hole up. You know it. You know it. Sip your fruit basket. You know what I like. Coconut water hole. Whole one. Nobody want to see it. Nobody don't care to see the Jets no more. You running out of holes now. Go over there and get Diddy a hug. Go ride the bike with him, you fat. You know what time it is. Prom time. You ain't sent a motherfucking message since December 9th, you big bag.
Just when everyone thought the drama had already hit its peak, Tia tossed in another twist. And this one had people doing double takes. She started bringing up some incidents from the past that, at first glance, seemed random, but then suddenly didn't feel so random at all. One name in particular kept coming up: Miss Carroll. Tia claimed that something serious had happened involving this woman, and she hinted that it wasn't just a coincidence. Now, let's be clear. She never came right out and said exactly what went down, but the way she described it, let's just say she painted a picture of unfinished business in open investigations. She even said that certain people were still watching closely, which got folks online speculating like crazy. It wasn't long before people started connecting dots that might not have even been meant to connect. Because when you drop hints like that in the middle of a firestorm, people are going to run with it. But that's not even the wildest part. Tia then doubled back to her own situation and claimed that things had once gotten so tense between her and Rick, she started feeling unsafe. And while she didn't go into graphic detail, the implication was loud enough. She said there were people around her who suddenly started acting strange, like they'd been told to keep their distance, or worse. The internet started spinning theories faster than anyone could fact-check them. But one thing was clear. This wasn't just tabloid-style drama anymore. The vibe shifted. Suddenly, it wasn't just about who said what. It was about what might have been swept under the rug all this time. And once Tia started talking about timelines and receipts, people knew she wasn't just venting. She was trying to connect some very specific dots. And a lot of them led straight back to Rick Ross. Whether people believed her or not, they were hooked. Because once the story gets this deep, you're not just watching a feud. You're watching a puzzle being put together in real time. And just when you thought the internet couldn't take any more plot twists, guess who strolls in like he's been waiting for this moment the whole time? Yup, 50 Cent. If there's drama brewing and a spotlight nearby, you already know he's pulling up a chair with popcorn in one hand and receipts in the other. So when Tia started shaking the table with all these claims, 50 didn't just watch from the sidelines. He jumped straight into the mix with that classic 50 energy. Messy, loud, and low-key hilarious. First thing he did, he hit Instagram with a photo of Rick Ross and Daddy looking a little too cozy. Nothing explicit, nothing wild, just one of those pics that, in the middle of everything going on, felt way too well-timed. And of course, he captioned it with just the right amount of shade to get people talking without crossing any lines. That post? It blew up instantly. Comments flying, people reposting, memes dropping left and right. And 50? He was loving every second. Then, because one post is never enough, he followed it up with another throwback photo, this time of Daddy and another industry exec looking suspiciously close. And once again, he let the internet do the rest. It was like he knew exactly how to keep the fire going without saying too much. Classic instigator move. And let's be honest, 50's been beefing with both Rick and Daddy for years, so it's not like he just randomly got involved. He saw his opening and took it, using the exact kind of internet bait that fans can't help but click on. But here's the thing. While it was funny on the surface, it also added more weight to Tia's story. Because now, with another major voice chiming in, even if it's for entertainment, people started wondering, okay, wait, is there actually something to all this? Whether 50 meant to stir up real doubt or just ride the wave, he managed to do both. And suddenly, this wasn't just Tia versus Rick anymore. It became a whole spectacle with everyone picking sides and dissecting every new post like it was a clue in a mystery thriller. Now, if you thought things were wild already, this next part feels straight out of a movie. Because Tia didn't just stop at the internet drama or the jaw-dropping claims. She took it all the way to a level that had people saying, wait, what did she just say? So here's the deal. According to Tia, during that federal sweep at Rick Ross's property not too long ago, things didn't exactly go quietly. She claims that during the search, investigators didn't leave empty-handed. And what they allegedly found? Let's just say it wasn't paperwork. Tia says multiple video recordings were discovered, and these weren't just casual clips. She described them as showing Ross front and center in situations that, let's just say, don't match the public persona he's worked so hard to build. But here's where it really takes a twist. Tia also claims that these tapes didn't just stay in some evidence locker. She says that Daddy, yep, still in the mix, allegedly tried to use them as part of a private negotiation, like trading cards, in hopes of getting lighter treatment from certain people in high places. And that's when people really started buzzing. Because if any of that's true, it means there might be way more happening behind closed doors than fans ever imagined. And Ross, according to Tia, he only avoided major fallout because attention shifted to bigger names. In other words, he might have dodged a major spotlight, but barely. Still, there's no public proof of any of this, and no official word confirming her claims. But the way she laid it out, with that calm but serious tone like she knew what she was talking about, it left the internet buzzing. Whether people believed her or not, they couldn't stop talking about it. And that's the thing. Once you throw words like tapes, raids, and deals into a story that was already explosive, you don't just have a messy breakup, you've got a full-on internet wildfire. At this point, things weren't just spiraling, they were completely unraveling. Rick Ross, the boss, the mogul, the guy who always looked like he had everything under control, suddenly had the internet questioning everything. And what made it worse? People started digging. Old interviews, song lyrics, red carpet moments, nothing was off limits. Fans went full detective mode and began pulling up lines from his past music, like that one infamous lyric about slipping something into someone's drink. Yeah, that line. It resurfaced fast, and let's just say it didn't age well. That bar had already gotten Ross into hot water years ago. He lost a major brand deal over it and caught backlash from even his most loyal fans. But now, in light of everything Tia was saying, people started putting old controversies under a brand new spotlight. Suddenly, it wasn't just about a wild lyric. It became part of a bigger question. Has Rick Ross been hinting at things all along without anyone noticing? From the way he carried himself in interviews to the over-the-top persona in his music, fans started asking whether all that bravado was really just a cover. Even past apologies were getting re-examined. Ross once said he regretted that line more than anything and claimed it was misunderstood. But now folks weren't so sure. The timing of it all, the silence from his camp, the fact that he hadn't responded to Tia's claims at all, it just added fuel to the theory that something behind the scenes wasn't lining up. And in the age of social media, once people start connecting dots, it doesn't take long before a whole new narrative takes shape. Rick's carefully curated image started to crack. Not because of one big moment, but because a series of smaller moments suddenly looked very different when viewed through this new lens. Whether he planned to address it or not, the internet was already doing the math, and the numbers weren't looking great. Now here's the thing. Just when it seemed like the internet had reached peak overload, Tia made it crystal clear. She's not even close to finished. If everything she's already dropped felt like the grand finale, she basically just said, that was the trailer. She's teasing more. More clips, more receipts, and apparently more names that haven't even been mentioned yet. And you can feel it. She's holding something back. Something bigger, and the way she's pacing it out, it's like she's got her own season of drama lined up. Just waiting for the next episode to drop. Meanwhile, Ross has still said nothing. No post, no tweet, not even a vague, don't believe the hype kind of message. And the silence? It's deafening. Because this is Rick Ross we're talking about. A guy who built his whole image around being loud, proud, and in control. But now it feels like the control is slipping. And that has people wondering if he's quietly preparing a massive response behind the scenes. Or if he's just trying to wait it all out and let the internet move on. But here's the truth. This kind of drama doesn't just fade. Not when there's this much speculation, this many players involved, and this many receipts being promised. Tia started something that feels way bigger than just one post. And whether people believe every word or not, they're all watching. Because at this point, it's not just about Rick Ross. It's about the possibility that more stories like this are waiting in the shadows, ready to drop at any moment. So if you think this saga is over, think again. This thing still has legs, and the next reveal might just be the one that flips everything upside down for good. So don't blink, don't scroll too fast, and definitely don't think it's done, because the next leak could be just one post away. Wait, did we just witness the beginning of the end for Rick Ross's image? Drop your wildest theory in the comments, because the internet is officially in chaos. Hit like if your jaw dropped, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, because the next episode in this drama It could break the internet all over again.